why do women this is a good question here. Why do women overlook their man when they know he's cheating, my brother?
Why do they? Because it's in the nature of a woman to submit regardless of the circumstances. What we see today, what happened yesteryear, and when I say yesteryear, I think what we talking about is any time before women had the freedom to vote, any time before there was really protections established for women, if anything was to ever happen to the man, if he was to leave or anything like that. What happened in yesteryear was people aligned themselves with people based off of survival, right? Like it was a so to speak, a trade and what each other wanted in order to ensure that both of them was able to thrive, right? She needed provision and protection. He wanted kids, whatever, right? What you see today, though, is a little bit different, and you see an environment where people can choose for themselves. And so if people can choose for themselves, would they still rock with you, right? And then the nature of a woman, though, is still to rock with the best available option because they're hypergamous. So they'd rather be with a guy than be by themselves because being by themselves is the worst available option for themselves, right? So being hypergamous extends regardless if you're in a relationship. It extends in corporate America. It extends across the board. The only ones that fumble are the ones that are focused on how they feel emotionally instead of feeling, operating based off of what's best for them, right? So I'm not saying that cheating is the best for them. And as a matter of fact, I think that guys that actually tell the truth get the best results, regardless of what your lifestyle is. The guys that tell the truth are ultimately going to get what they want. But women are willing to stick around because they understand that it's the best available option for themselves.
So true. You speak about that word hypergamy, and I think that
All day.
I get into conversations all the time, and some women come out here and try to tell me that men and women are the same, and I'm like,
They're not even a little bit.
Exactly, right? And I say is like you guys have all these options on social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're using and stuff like that. And you hear about this, and I don't think they understand. They think because if a man has a high follower count or all these subs on YouTube and he's got it made, he's getting all this attention from all these blue notification check marks and stuff like that. And women be the ones that just post a little selfie of themselves and all heck breaks loose in their DM.
True.
Right? So how do men that are listening to this balance between the hypergamous and understand the navigation aspect of how to get that right woman so she can
what type of men? Are these men that's winning, or are these just regular dudes, or is these dudes at the bottom of the totem pole? Because it's a different strategy for each one.
Middle tier. We'll go middle tier, my man.
Okay, so how do men do what? Get a submissive woman? How do they get women on a program?
How do they get women on their program? And that hypergamy button. They see that hypergamous.
It's easy. I mean, you just stop focusing on women. Listen, the less you care, the more you get. The less you care, the less you focus on women, the more access you have. As a matter of fact, as a guy myself that's married, I would say that regularly, married guys get way more attention than guys that's just regularly single.
Talk right? About that.
And so the idea of it is that when you focusing more on leveling up, when you focusing more on becoming the best version of yourself, and you care less about what women think, more women want you. More women are attracted to you. Women want the thing that's the best available option, right? And so guys that's always spending the majority of their time chasing women, it's impossible for you to be focused on becoming the best version of yourself or leveling up or chasing checks. Even the Bible, right, to a certain extent speaks about it. And when it says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness and everything else will be added unto you. You can translate that across the board into anything, right? When you chase your purpose, everything attracts to you, right? Becoming the best version of yourself, being the greatest in your industry, leveling up, whatever that looks like for you, the women come with it, the money come with it, right? Opportunities and the options come with it. And then the only thing that you really have to focus on is which option is the best available option. And if you got the character in order to withstand whatever it is that's coming along with that lifestyle, right? But the way in which they get women to submit, because you shouldn't ever have to ask a woman to submit, right? Women should just naturally do that based off of the type of guy that you are. So as long as you focusing on you and winning and leveling up and putting yourself in a position to be successful, you're supposed to have women coming to you and flocking to you and making sure that they seeking out your insight, information, and then ultimately are aligning themselves with whatever it is that you got going on, not the other way around. I won't, bro. Dudes that chase women, for me, they hustling backwards. It's always the business, the money, taking. Even when it comes to marriage, right? The woman is supposed to be leaning on love. They love you, they adore you. They supposed to be like little puppies when you walk into the door. The guy is supposed to look at it from a business first perspective, right? Everything you have to look at with a business mindset, and you're supposed to be looking at everything business first. Don't mean that you don't love them. Don't mean that you don't rock with them. But ultimately, you're supposed to be thinking business first, because the things that you're supposed to be focused on, which is best for the both of y'all, has to be looked at from a business perspective.
I love that you say that, and I feel like I know in my eyes, I know the folks that I hang around and I chum with, they're, big influencers and things like that,
Yep.
and all that. And everybody may hear what you just said about, leveling up and things like that. Let's kind of spin the dial back to the females, because I feel like some of them see the high value male.
Mm-hmm.
They may not want to submit because they're on the same level as the guy. Mm-hmm. How do they balance that out now? Because that can get really
How
tricky.
do women balance it?
How do women balance
Because if
that
you're
out?
talking about men, from a man's perspective, they shouldn't care what women think.
Mm-hmm. But how does a
At
woman
all.
balance it now?
Now, from a woman's perspective, they have to understand that they are what they attract. Right? They're not even in the rooms with the type of guy that they want if they're sitting there complaining about the fact that this man is not high value enough for them. Right? In those situations, they don't even know what they don't know, right? They don't even know how to think correctly. Women, to a larger extent, are like children, and I'll get into that in a minute, right? But when a woman is asking for that, she's not even asking for a man. She's not asking for a husband. She's asking for a partner, right? She's asking for somebody to share her life with and to share responsibilities and all of this other type of stuff with, in order to make sure that she's not alone. Now that's a different conversation from a woman that's saying that I'm looking for a husband, because then you're talking about hierarchy, you're talking about leadership, you're talking about alpha, you're talking about submission. It's a completely different conversation with a woman saying that I want a guy that makes this amount of money, because a simp is a simp whether or not he got money or he don't got money, right? It's plenty of dudes that's trash that got money. So I don't think that women even know what they want, which is one of the reasons why they need other men in their life to guide them, why they need a father in their life. Even symbolically, when you're talking about women walking down the aisle, the idea is that her father is supposed to hand her over to her husband, because they still need that provision, protection, covering, and that leadership in order for them to even be the best version of themselves, because they don't know what they want, right? And so in a lot of ways, they need to be lorded over, not in a negative way, because it actually brings out the best of them. They need to be lorded over. And in my household, I don't have a partnership. I run a benevolent dictatorship. It's a completely different dynamic in here. So,
Like
emphasis on benevolent.
Yeah. I feel like I was where was I the other day? The conversation came up about, and I think you're going to see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Men and women being friends. I know it physically is not possible, right? This is your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I love it. Yep.
And I feel like I don't keep women that are friends around me, because I know that if I get into a relationship, hear me out.
Go ahead. All right, I'm listening.
If I get into a relationship, the dynamics are going to change a little bit. Now, you can have an acquaintance. I just don't think it's going to be buddy, where you guys can hang out, chum, do your thing. It is what it is, because we already know what's going to end up happening.
So do you think that the dynamic of the relationship is going to change once you get intimate with her? Is that what you're saying?
100%. Because your lady ain't going to want to see you go over there to go hang out with Sally on a Saturday night, because she's going to be like, where's my spot?
Yeah, I don't think that most guys and women can be friends at all. Mm-hmm. I think it's almost virtually impossible for one not to be attracted to the other, even if the other don't look at one of them the same way, right? The guy, more often than not, is the one that's waiting for the opportunity to slide in and do what he do, right? But it's impossible, in my opinion, almost not impossible. It's nearly impossible for you to spend an extended amount of time with somebody and not have a level of attraction to them. So yeah, I completely feel you. Um, and so you have to separate it. I don't. I believe that guys that have women as friends a lot of times aren't necessarily, and we talking about guys that's in a relationship, right?
Yes, we are.
I think they should have married their best friend.
Talk about that.
I think that I don't believe in dating. I don't believe in dating for the purposes of marriage. I think you start dating after you get married. And that's why, arranged marriages are much more successful than ones where people choose for themselves because given the option, most people choose wrong, right? And so when you think about it and you saying, okay, well, I'm looking for a husband or I'm looking for a wife. When you date, a lot of times what happens is you're dating somebody's representative. You literally got to pull back the layers over an extended period of time, however long that take, in order to understand who they truly are. And this is why you see people say, I got to live with the person first. I got to experience it. I got to bust it down, so on and so forth. When you operate in a specific network, in a group of people, and this is one of the reasons why I tell people to get outside, go out, participate, interact with people, level up, you know what I'm saying? Align with people that's going in the direction that you're going in. You get to see how people authentically are without any kind of preconceived desire or, you know what I'm saying, objective prior to you actually interacting with them. You just seeing people in the natural state. You see them under duress. You see how they treat their parents. You get to see how it is that they live their life, how they respond to issues and problems and obstacles. You get to, you know what I'm saying, align with their mindset when it comes to money. And you get to really authentically see who people are, which then allows for you to be able to attach yourself to them in ways that are not based off of the superficial things, sex, looks, all of that type of stuff. Because if you're looking for a husband or a wife, you're looking for somebody to spend the rest of your life with. You need to align yourself with somebody or marry somebody that's going to be your best friend. And the best way to do that is by networking effectively and then ultimately marrying the person that you align more closely with, because marriage is more than just love. Right? Marriage is a commitment. Marriage is a duty. It's a business relationship. It's benefits that come along with being married. It's empowering that other person to go out and network effectively, which then allows for you to be able to be introduced to her friend's husband, and then y'all wind up doing business together, right? And so I think that people look at relationships and marriage wrong because they lead with, I love this person, or I rock with him, or I'm attracted to him, instead of leading with what's best for you ultimately is what's best for us, because two horses can pull 10 times their weight. And so I don't think that people need to date if they're looking for a relationship. I think that people need to spend more time aligning themselves with a network of people that's going in the direction that they're going in, and then they'll naturally find the person that's best for them, which is the person that they should marry.
There's a lot to unpack there. There's a lot to unpack there. And it's crazy because I know friends of mine that are Middle Eastern, East Indian.
Yep.
They get married, right? Some of the Middle Eastern, it's arranged. And you see that in that culture, there's not a lot of people separating and things like that. East Indian and not separating. But when we spin it back over to this lens, it's happening a lot more. Because I personally feel like people don't want to sacrifice. I think that's the biggest word. A lot of people don't want to make sacrifices. I think we're all superficial with some sort of ego that we may
I don't think
have.
you have to sacrifice if you align yourself with the right person.
Okay. So
I think it's just listen, me as a guy, I'm not looking to put you in a place to where you have to sacrifice. I'm trying to figure out how I can unleash you, right? I'm trying to figure out what's the best parts of you. How do you think? How do I put you in a position to succeed? Because think about it. I mean, leadership in a household is very similar to business. It's very similar to corporate America. Whenever there's a problem, and this is the reason why I say I operate in a benevolent dictatorship, keyword benevolent, I'm concerned about you. I want to hear what you got to say, but ultimately the responsibility is mine as to how things go. If we start losing our house or things go wrong, they're not going to go to you and say, hey, why y'all you losing your house? They're going to come to me because I'm the leader. Similar to running a Fortune 500 company. They don't go to the workers and say, hey, why y'all ain't doing your job? They go up to the leader and they say, hey, you're not running this company effectively. How do you need to restructure? And let me get somebody to replace it if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, right? And so it's the same thing when it comes to these households. I think that they're looking at it wrong, right? I don't think that people need to sacrifice. Leadership is, listen, if you're not doing or you're not successful in your job, let me figure out how I can put you in a position to be successful. What do you need? Do you need coaching? You need mentorship? You need leadership? You need to be in a different position. Maybe your skill set is more suited to be over here and you can be more effective. And so I'm looking to unleash you. I'm looking to unpack what's great about you so that you then can be the best version of yourself instead of being interdependent on me for your happiness. Right? Happiness is subjective. You should be happy regardless of the state that you in. Now I got to figure out how to put you in a place that actually is best suited for what you're capable of doing, which would then make what we're doing more effective because you being in a good space makes for a better person that when you come home. So I don't think it needs to be any sacrifice. I think you can have your cake and eat it too. But it's just all about whether or not you're an effective leader, which is where I think most people fall behind at.
That's why we're having this conversation, because a lot of what you say, I agree, and I listen to it both sides. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, the audience may have heard you the first part where you say about a dictatorship, right? This is me. I like to cover all angles. I feel like some women hear that, dictatorship, and what's the first thing they're going to do? Oh, he's being potentially misogynistic. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, I have rights too. I have say in the relationship. And trust me, I get in a lot of these conversation spots that are not even recorded, and I hear some of the things, man. And some of these women, no disrespect, they go crazy when they hear dictatorship, they hear leadership, they hear accountability, because we already know they don't like to be accountable.
I think that they love it. I think that they would cut off their left titty to be under the leadership of a great man.
Okay.
They would cut off their left nipple to be able to quit their job, not have to compete for resources, and be able to just be what they naturally are, which is feminine, which is, to be able to be more nurturing, right? They have to get out of character to go out and compete with resources with me because I don't sleep, right? Like, I am a monster. I am going to grind for 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. But they have to be required to bring in resources in order for their man and their partnership, right, in order to be able to survive and live a certain type of way. Women would kill to have to quit, to be able to quit their job, right, and then be able to do what they want to do with their own time and to live in that feminine space where they can be more nurturing and caring and just be a mother or whatever it is. I believe that women that say that just don't know any better, which is why women are much like children. They don't know what's best for themselves. So you can't listen every time to what women want and make a decision based off of that. You have to listen to what they say and then try to pay attention to exactly what they're trying to communicate to you, because what you say is only 10% of the conversation, and how you feel when your body movement and body language is 90%. So, I think that they capping. I think that they talk in truth based off of what they believe. But I think that what they know inherently based off of who they truly are, what's best for them, is a completely different conversation. I don't believe anything that they're saying. You know me. I just tell it like it is. I think that women want to be feminine, right? They don't want to have to go out here and compete for resources with men. It's all cap, bro.
It's true. And you see it. You see the ones with the high successful dudes and how they are. You know what I mean?
Because if that was the case, why they whining about being... See, guys is okay with being by themselves. We okay with moving and not can't listen. If we find a chick, cool. I would like to be married, but I'm gonna get it no matter what, and I'm fine. Why are women making such a big deal about finding a man if it's not meaningful to them, and they more or less are supposed to be equal with men? If they supposed to move and it's an equal way across the board, then what you complaining about? Because men have no safety net. We just move. We just do what we do, understanding that whatever seed we plant, the consequences come along with it, good or bad, we gonna own it.
It's society. That's what it is. It's society. You know that. Before we get out of here, though, you know what I mean, with the limited time that we have, that back to that cheating conversation. Mm-hmm. Who cheat more, men or women? And unpack this, please, because I know the answer. And I get into these conversations all the time. I say women actually have more, again, like you say, resources to step out. Men don't necessarily cheat. And then you have some women that would be like, well, that's not entirely true. It's bullshit. Men are always in different women's DMs. What are we doing? Oh, I'm like, you guys are never single. You guys always have somebody.
Well, I don't believe that it's cheating unless you're married, first of all. I believe either you're single or you're married. I don't believe in relationships. I don't believe that you can operate with the same mindset that you did boyfriend and girlfriend when you was 13 years old. So
You
if you're
attack
not
that?
married and you got this fake engagement, right? Because everybody engaged, supposedly. Very few people getting married, but everybody is engaged. You just a placeholder, baby girl. That's it. You're nothing more than a placeholder. There's nothing stopping this man from walking away, and there's no consequences that come along with it. It's just a fake title. So that's A. B, one of the reasons why men are able to cheat, right, and women stay with them is that men and women cheat for different reasons, right? Men at a lot of times, they can cheat and not even know your name. It doesn't mean that he don't love the person that he would at home. And yeah, you can make the argument and say, well, if he didn't love her, or if he loved her, he wouldn't cheat on her. But men don't. Men that do stuff, in most instances, not all, they do things based off of temptation or opportunity. It's not that they actually care. They have no emotional attachment to the person that they do it with. They can forget her name tomorrow and don't even think about her and be asking the chick, don't call his phone tomorrow, right? It's just based off of opportunity. Women have to be emotionally attached in most instances to cheat, right? Which makes it 10 times worse because it's a soul tie to a larger extent. And she'll never be able to unsee that thing, which then is impacting every single man that she's with, including the man that she's with at that moment going forward, right? So it's not the same. And I don't advocate for either. But if you're asking me which one is worse and who cheat more, I think that's women. And then I think that it's more egregious when you find women in situations where they cheat because it's an emotional attachment to that guy prior to that actually happening, whereas a guy can just do it without even thinking about it and keeping it moving, probably regretting the decision the minute that he had post-nut clarity, right? The very millisecond that it happened, he like, why am I with this chick and I can't wait for her to leave? Whereas women are looking for that emotional attachment when they find themselves with a guy.
Wow, Mr. Daniels, that's a mouthful there too. Where can everybody check you out? You know, especially over here in Canada. You know what I mean? A lot of my audience is worldwide and things like that. But where can
Yep.
everybody check you out? See your monologues, see your talking pieces, see the excellent content and the work that you're doing, my brother.
You know what? I'm pretty much everywhere. I run multiple platforms. We run a Lapeef network, which is, a panel of people that have different conversations, uncomfortable conversations amongst men and women. I think it's pretty awesome. That's hitting. I got my regular channel, just Anton Daniels, where I kind of highlight and detail what's going on in my life. And I've been documenting my life for well over 8-9 years on the internet. So my whole life is an open book. And then, the three main platforms or four platforms is that. And then you got the Millionaire Morning Show where I break down how I became a millionaire and how you need to move from a financial perspective, and everything ties back into the money. And we use real life everyday situations. What's the benefits of marriage, how financially you can become more successful with that, how to level up in corporate America, the recession, inflation, so on and so forth. And then last but not least, we got Fight Club. So it's a channel called This Is Fight Club where overnight, when it get dark, demon time, we have spirited conversations, based off of different things that's happening in society at the moment, and it can get a little bit spicy, to say the least, over there. And that's not for everybody. I'm gonna tell you, that's a platform that you got to put on your big boy and your big girl pants to be over there. But yeah, those are pretty much the platforms that I focus on the most. Serial entrepreneur. You can go to AntonDaniels.com. I got all of the links to all of the different things that I'm into. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. Hey, again, this platform is home for a lot of black content creators and things like that. That's the reason why I'm here. Do conscious
I appreciate you, bro. I
conversations.
think you're doing some great things, bro.
Yeah, man. That's love. Thank you, man. And like I said, this platform is open for you at any time. You know what I mean?
Same here, man. Listen, I'm an email, phone call away. Anytime you need to tap in with me, anything you need, bro, I got your back. I think you're doing some phenomenal things over here. This is absolutely a phenomenal platform. Thank you for having me on, man. It has been my pleasure, bro.
Yeah, man. Love.